So the Philadelphia Eagles have had a great season. Obviously, they're Super Bowl champions. But what kind of made that season possible, and I don't think this is a hot take, was the signing of Saquon Barkley. So Saquon Barkley was signed from the Giants. Obviously, if anybody watched the Hard Knocks off season, then you saw the Giants kind of struggle with what they were going to do with him. Did they want to re-sign him? What was he worth? He had injury history, so they didn't sign him, and he was allowed to sign a free agent contract with the rival Philadelphia Eagles. That original contract, 3 years, $37.75 million with $26 million guaranteed, and then it could increase to $46.75 million if he hit bonuses. On the Wikipedia page, it said that Barkley was fed up with negotiations with the Giants, calling their approach a little disrespectful. He felt slighted by the team's insistence that he had to prove his value on the open market, which he described as a slap in the face. So he goes to the Eagles, and all he does this year is rush 345 times. That's like crazy. That's Ricky Williams and the early 2000s level of running the ball. Granted, it wasn't 400. Ricky Williams was running at 400, but he gets 2,005 yards, a 5.8 average, absolutely ridiculous. 13 touchdowns, all those career high. He also had 2,283 yards from scrimmage, and he added 2 more touchdowns receiving, and he had 278 yards there. So just a phenomenal season for Saquon Barkley. The best year of his career, obviously. In a return to form from his rookie season where he had 1,307 yards rushing and 11 touchdowns, and then 91 receptions for 721 yards and 4 touchdowns for 2,028 yards from scrimmage. So Saquon Barkley returned to form, returned to how good he was as a rookie, made the Giants look foolish for giving up on him. And the Eagles went to the playoffs. Saquon Barkley was huge in the playoff run. Wasn't as productive in the Super Bowl, but really the only thing you can say good about the Chiefs was that they were able to tee off on him and prevent him from being as productive as he was, which only allowed the Eagles to pass wherever they wanted and blow out the Kansas City Chiefs. So huge part of them winning the Super Bowl. And so they rewarded him with a 2-year, $41.2 million contract extension, and this will make him the highest paid running back in NFL history. The deal makes Saquon Barkley the NFL's first $20 million per year running back. So I think this is well deserved, and I think this is a bit of a market correction, right? We've been in the era of passing games where it's easier, where all these quarterbacks are playing so well, and you need a prime time great quarterback to win the Super Bowl. And the Eagles came out and they went a little bit against the grain. Yes, Jalen Hurts, he's a solid quarterback. I think we can all admit that now. I mean, he's a Super Bowl champion, but Jalen Hurts is not the top tier of quarterback, right? He's a bit limited in what he can do passing the ball. He doesn't scare you necessarily if he had to pass the ball only, but he makes up for that in his athleticism, his ability to score in short yardage with the tush push. And he's just like a very solid, very smart, doesn't turn the ball over quarterback. He does everything that the Eagles ask of him and everything they need of him, especially with Saquon Barkley there, to be the person that defenses tee off. We saw that tee off on. We saw that in the Super Bowl, and it led to Jalen Hurts having probably, I don't know, that other Super Bowl that he lost, he actually played pretty amazing. So maybe you want to say that was the best game, but he lost. Whereas this game, he played pretty much perfectly. He had 1 interception, but he played so great and they won the Super Bowl. So like, what's that expression? 6 in one, half dozen in the other. Pick your poison, pick your better game for him. Do you care about him playing stats wise better in a loss or pretty much perfect for a win? I can be convinced of either one, but Saquon Barkley is perhaps correcting the market, and now it will be very interesting to see what happens with James Cook in Buffalo, who's looking for a new contract. He's finally eligible for one, and he is a huge part of the Buffalo Bills' success in a similar way, where Josh Allen, he can throw the ball all over the place, but that offense really ramped up a notch when Ken Dorsey got fired and the switch to a more balanced approach. And so I think, this will James Cook make more than Saquon Barkley? I don't think so. I think Saquon Barkley has proven more, but I do think that we're going to see this trend of teams perhaps moving away from trying to get only a top tier quarterback and focus more on making more of a balanced team, because that Eagles team is stacked top to bottom around their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, and it starts with Saquon Barkley. So what do you think about all of this? Do you agree with me that this could prove to be a bit of a market correction in the NFL, a bit of a focus back to running the football is something I've predicted on this channel would happen, and I think this is like one of the first big dominoes to show that it is going to happen. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.